Today is the last day of the regular state legislative session. Lawmakers have already passed some headline-grabbing measures.
That includes 3 initiatives the group Let's Go Washington gathered signatures on. And joining us is Brian Heywood, the founder of Let's Go Washington. Brian, nice to have you with us this morning.
Good morning. Great to be here.
Thanks for coming in this morning. So as we mentioned, 3 initiatives were passed. That includes the changes to police pursuits, the ban of any type of income tax in cities and counties, and then codifying parents' rights to know what their child is up to at school. In your opinion, why was it so important to get these initiatives passed?
Because they were hurting everyday average people in Washington state. I wish they would have done all 6, and we'll get another shot at that at the November ballot. But the 3 that they passed, I think they saw, the majority Democrat Party saw that these were really popular, and they were probably going to pay a price at the ballot box if they didn't do something with them. And that speaks to sort of the impact they have on everyday Washingtonians.
For the initiatives that did pass, what are the next steps?
The ones that passed, well, so now they go to the Secretary of State, and probably about 30 days from the end of session, they go into law. And so they'll take effect. The governor cannot veto initiatives, and so the process is done basically, and they'll go into effect in about 90 days.
Brian, there's been a lot of talk, over the past couple of months, even before the legislative session began, about the amount of money that was poured into helping the process in terms of gathering signatures, that sort of thing. Why you of all people to sort of back these efforts?
Why me of all people?
Yeah.
Someone had to step up, and I think if you look at the process, even look at the last year, there was a Democrat-supported attempt to make all drugs legal, let's say, all illegal drugs legal in the state. And it failed because they were already at like $5 or $6 million, and they couldn't get it across the finish line because of the way the process was. And I went at this very much from a business point of view and got 6 done for less than the cost of what normally 1 cost. 1 usually costs around $10 to $20 million, and we got them all done. We got 6 of them qualified for less than $8 million. So one was, I think, it needed someone to re-examine the process and fix it. And the second is I've been very blessed, and when you sort of feel that, then there's an obligation to figure out what to do with that. And one of the things is you can help other people. And I've made quite a bit myself, and I didn't like the closing of the doors on other people, and especially even the Climate Commitment Act, which didn't pass yet, but will, I think, in November. That one is very much, it sort of took $2 billion out of the pockets of everybody that commutes every day. And that hits you when you're poor. I grew up very poor, and I know what that would do to our family. We'd have made hard choices, paying this bill or paying that bill. And so someone had to step up, and I decided to do it.
You mentioned the climate initiative, and for our viewers who are not familiar, what are the other 2, and what do you think the chances are of those eventually passing down the road, especially if they're going before voters in November?
So the Climate Commitment Act, sort of this hidden gas tax, I think has a very high chance of passing. It was the easiest one to get signatures for because people were just ticked off. They were paying $300 to $800 extra a year in costs. The other 2 were the repeal of the capital gains tax, and then the repeal, not really a repeal, but an opt-out option for the long-term care. The long-term care, when a lot of people don't even know that this is getting taken out of their wallet because we don't do paychecks or pay stubs anymore. You just get a direct deposit, and you have to go online and log in and go down 3 menus to find out what's been taken out of your paycheck. Well, when people hear about it, they're upset, and the long-term care, even the Seattle Times was saying this is a terrible, terrible law that was poorly designed. And I think if an independent private firm put up an insurance plan that matched exactly what the long-term care plan does, Bob Ferguson would be suing them for fraud. So this one needs to be repealed. The capital gains tax is the one that when people come and try to tell, oh, you're a rich guy, you're just doing this for yourself. I haven't paid any capital gains on this. I probably won't. I have to, in order to make my money back, I'd have to make about $100 million just to break even, which is a terrible, terrible investment from a return point of view. What I don't like is when people say the rich, and people are poking me. There's a lot of money that they're okay when it's on the left. There's a bunch of rich guys over on the other side that supported a bunch of initiatives. But they're all the ones that want to stop people from going to that next step. So if you're an entrepreneur and you were attracted to this state because it promised that you could come and have no income tax and no capital gains tax, and you started a business here, and then we shut that door off, I don't believe that's very fair. And I want to give everybody else the same opportunities I've had.
Thank you, Brian, so much for coming into the ARC Lounge. We appreciate you sharing all the information on those initiatives.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you covering it.
An important conversation. Wish we had more time with you, Brian. Thank you. That brings us to our poll question this morning. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote in this using your cell phone's camera. This is what we're asking. How often do you feel like state lawmakers work with your best interests in mind? I will tell you that bottom number was around 78% when we first started showing this poll this morning. Now it's about 90%. Wow. 9% saying most of the time, and only 1% of our responders so far are saying always. We want to know what you think. Scan that QR code using your cell phone's camera to vote. You can also be part of the ARC Seattle team. Join the conversation. Just use the hashtag ARC Seattle on social media. All very important issues, and you know they're controversial, but there have been 3 that have been passed in the legislature so far, and there's going to be some that are going to be going before voters, taking up things like parental rights.